Something most people don't realize until it's too late. In love, the things we fight for feel priceless, but the things we receive too easily without asking, without effort, without responsibility, those things slowly lose their value. Not because they're not precious, but because human beings stop valuing what is always available. And this truth becomes painfully clear in relationships. Today, I want to talk especially to the men who love too deeply and to the women who mistake that deep love for weakness. And to the husbands, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends out there, this message is for every one of you who has ever loved someone more than yourself. So listen to the very end because this might save your relationship or in some cases, save you from the wrong one. Human nature is strange. What we struggle to earn becomes precious, and what comes too easily starts losing worth day by day. The same thing happens in love. When a man treats a woman like she is his entire world, when he gives her extreme care, deep respect, unconditional love, and sometimes even puts his own self-respect on the line just to make her happy. From that very moment, an unusual shift begins in the relationship. Because the man often thinks, if I care more, if I respect more, if I love harder, our bond will become stronger. But reality? Reality doesn't always work that way. In fact, sometimes the opposite happens, especially for some women. When they receive an excessive amount of care, when they get love without limits, when they see a man who would do anything for them, slowly, that love stops feeling like love. It begins to feel like weakness. They start believing he's never going to leave me. No matter what I do, he'll stay. His love is guaranteed. And once love becomes guaranteed, its value starts falling. The man's presence becomes normal. His efforts become invisible. His sacrifices become routine. His love becomes expected. His heart becomes ordinary. Just like everyday food, you only remember it when you're hungry, but you never appreciate its real flavor. I'm not making this up. I've seen this in real people, real relationships, real breakups. Not all women are like this, of course, but enough for the pattern to be painfully clear. And that guaranteed love, it slowly makes the other person careless. That's exactly when relationships begin to break, when one person gives everything and the other person feels nothing. Let's go deeper. Human psychology values scarcity. We respect what we fear losing. But when a man becomes too available, too forgiving, too predictable, too soft, too loving, his presence becomes a habit, not a privilege. And habits don't get respect. That's why people say too much sweetness turns bitter. Even sugar, when eaten too much, becomes unbearable. The same is true in love. A river that flows too hard destroys its own banks. And love, when overflowing beyond limits, can destroy the relationship you were trying to protect. And listen, I'm not just talking about teenagers in love or 20 or 22-year-old couples learning life the hard way. This applies to everyone, to boyfriends and girlfriends, to husbands and wives who have been married for decades. Age doesn't change this rule. Beauty doesn't change this rule. Beauty fades, bodies wrinkle, faces grow old. But respect, value, self-worth, these things stay. And without these, no relationship can survive. Men often think if I love her more, she will love me more. If I give more, she will value me more. If I sacrifice everything, she will never leave. No, that's not how humans work. Love doesn't grow through pressure. Respect doesn't grow through begging. Commitment doesn't grow from desperation. You must love, yes. You must care, of course. You must respect, always, but not at the cost of your self-respect. Because a love that destroys your dignity was never love in the first place. And a person who only loves you when you're hurting yourself for them doesn't deserve the version of you that was ready to give everything. And for women listening, if a man loves you deeply, don't mistake it for weakness. Don't test it. Don't misuse it. Don't take it for granted. A man who truly loves you is rare. He is not replaceable. And once he leaves, trust me, you will never find his kind again. Because the men who love with their whole heart don't come around twice. So here's the final truth. The person who is always available rarely gets valued. The person whose absence you fear, that person is valued. So love, but do not lose yourself. Care, but do not destroy your identity. Be loyal, but don't let anyone walk over your dignity. Because at the end of the day, a relationship is not just about holding someone else's heart. It is also about protecting your own. If you understood this message today, I'm sure you felt it somewhere deep inside your chest. So do one thing. Hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, and if this touched your heart, give it a like so more people can learn this truth. This is not just a video. This is a reminder, a lesson, and maybe a turning point in your relationship.